Hey everyone, welcome back to Darren Tumbles. Today we are reacting to all the moves Simone Biles has named after her in the Code of Points. There's 5 different skills. For each one we're going to react to it and then break it down. Let's get into it.
She has some of the most difficult gymnastics in the world.
She's only like 16 or 17 here.
And this is a Biles double layout with a half turn. So difficult to land that.
Right off the bat, let's just appreciate how high she can tumble and how precise those landings were. But the greatness really starts from the first step she takes. When she's running into this tumbling pass, she's trying to stay on her toes as much as possible. And then looking at her round off back handspring, pay attention to how her arms stay glued by her ears and how she stretches out that round off but lands with her feet in front of her so that back handspring shoots backward. And of course, this whole time she's squeezing her entire body super tight. She lands with her feet behind her, but a double layout is kind of weird. You don't actually set for a double layout the same you would a regular layout. For a double layout, you gotta throw your chest back as quick as possible because there's not enough time in the air to hold a proper hollow position. It's a little different when you're spinning 2 or 3 times, but for just a regular double layout, you're pretty much always gonna see it done this way, where you hold an arch position, not a hollow. And then the part that makes it the Biles, the spin, she has to bring one of her arms in. Once your body is asymmetrical, that's gonna start your spin. And then she just holds that into the landing. It is a blind landing, which means she can't exactly see where she's gonna land, but she's trying to spot the floor as long as possible while still turning her feet and hips. And all that information is going through her head, or is so ingrained in her head at this point that it's just instinct. But you can really tell that it's years of training that have gone into these tumbling skills. The second skill Simone has named after her is on vault, and it's a Yurchenko half on followed by 2 twists.
This is the Biles, and it became that in the qualifying round of the competition. Her second major skill named after her.
It is absolutely mind-blowing that she was able to pull off this vault. There's only a handful of women out there who can even do the Yurchenko half on with 1.5 twists. Simone said, let me up the game and just do 2 twists, why not? As she's running into this vault, again, she's trying to stay on her toes as much as possible. Going into that round off, she needs a huge, powerful kick. Then she does the Yurchenko half on. She's trying to hit a good handstand to get a high block off the vault table. To get a good block, you need to be squeezing every single muscle in your whole body. Simone spins to the left, so she's going to drop her left arm down to initiate the spin, but then pull both arms into a hollow body. To land, she's trying to spot the floor, but it is a blind landing. So even though she's turning her hips and feet to land, she's keeping her eyes on the mat so she can know exactly where the floor is. For quite a few years now, she's stuck with the Cheng vault, which is a Yurchenko half on with 1.5 twists. But still, the fact that she pulled this off in competition is mind-blowing. The third skill named after Simone is a double-double on the balance beam. The double-double is a very beautiful yet difficult skill on the floor exercise. And here's Simone doing it on a 4-inch piece of wood. Like, girl, get out of here. Leave some talent for the rest of us. Simone's technique is so good, that's probably why she's still able to do these impressive skills and stay in the sport, even though she's one of the older athletes relatively. The setup for this impressive skill is a back handspring step out back handspring. You can see she's trying to tumble on her toes as much as possible, also trying to keep her head in between her arms because you want to have a strong line through your whole body while you tumble. She lands that last back handspring with her feet right under her so she can just stand straight up. She's not throwing her head back, which would result in her skill not being as high. And if she couldn't tumble as high, she wouldn't be able to pull off this difficult skill. She finishes the first full of that double-double way above the beam. It's actually unbelievable. You guys thought that double-double was hard? Well, take a look at the 4th skill that's named after Simone, the triple-double.
There have been some men that do it, but it's like less than a handful. And when she does it right, it is unreal and as well done as anybody, man or woman, has competed in.
I'm speechless.
Money!
Just keep making history, Simone Biles.
Over rotates again. Not only is she doing this impressive skill that no other woman has ever done, and only a handful of men have ever done, she's over rotating it and has beautiful technique. I feel like Simone is getting bored. Like in the gym, she gets bored and it's just like, today I'm gonna try a triple double because all these other skills, too easy for me. You'll notice that her hands and her feet are never on the ground at the same time. That's because she does a good job of blocking through her shoulders and off of her hands to get her feet in front into the back handspring. Then she blocks again. Then she lands with her feet behind her, and your ankles have to be made of steel to withstand this amount of force. But she's squeezing as tight as she can, then sets upward, keeping her head neutral, arms up. To start spinning, she drops her left arm to the side and then pulls both arms in. By the time she finishes the first flip, she's already done 2 full spins. At the end of the triple double, she's trying to spot the floor with her eyes, so she knows exactly where to place her feet. For reference, the hardest skill I've ever done on a tumble track is a full in back out. That's a double backflip with 1 twist, and I was stoked about this. I was so happy that I could land this. I can't even imagine the power it takes to do a triple twisting double back on the floor. Simone is crazy in the best possible way. And her landing is actually really good. I feel like there's gonna be some critics out there that are like, her chest was too low, but yet she's over rotating it. The 5th and final skill named after Simone. Oh God, I don't want to say final because that sounds like maybe she'd be done doing gymnastics. The 5th skill that is named after Simone is a Yurchenko double pike. Here she is again, over rotating the hardest skills ever done. This vault is excellent, but again, the excellence isn't just in that double pike, it actually starts way at the beginning of the runway. When she's sprinting down the runway, she's staying on the balls of her feet, and then kicks into that round off as hard as she possibly can. Then she jumps into that Yurchenko, has to hit the vault table with arms straight, but pushing through her shoulders to block upward. She passes through that handstand position, rides it up, and then pulls into the pike position. I don't understand how she has the air awareness to know exactly where the floor is while she's flipping basically 3 times. My guess is she's trying to spot the floor with her eyes every time she rotates around. Because you're just flipping so fast, and to open up at exactly the right second to stick is nearly impossible. But hey, that'll give Simone a challenge so she's not bored. Wow, I just feel fortunate to live in this era of Simone Biles. Her technique mixed with her power just has resulted in amazing gymnastics for over 10 years now. Let me know in the comments what your favorite skill of Simone's is. For me, it's definitely that double twisting, double back off the balance beam. Just because when you're watching balance beam, I feel like it gets a little predictable what dismounts you're gonna see. Usually it's a double back or a double pike, maybe a full in, but there's not even that many gymnasts that can do a full in. And then here comes Simone shaking up the game, pulling off one of the hardest moves ever, a double twisting double back. Her incredible gymnastics inspires so many, and I can't wait to see her at the Paris Olympics. That's all for now. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, leave a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.